Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Unapologetically Just Me TV with your good sis. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about my opinions about the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock slap that was heard all around the world, okay? So if you're interested in that, keep watching this video. But first, before we can start the video, as always, remember to like the video, comment down below what you thought about the slap and about the consequences that Will Smith received because of his actions, and also subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and also hit the bell notification so you will be one of the first ones to know when I post another video. My initial reaction to watching this was just like a lot of other people, was that it was fake. Only my reason of initially thinking it was fake was only because Chris Rock had his hands behind his back and it was like he had his face like poked out. You know what I mean? And I thought it was fake because I was like, who does that? You might not know somebody is about to put their hands on you, but if you know that you just gave, like, you just made a joke about somebody's wife, you don't like, or just, you just made a joke about somebody, you don't leave yourself defensive towards them. You might not, put your hands up, but you don't like put your hands behind your back and leave yourself defensive. That's why I thought it was fake. I thought he was like, okay, come on, let's do what we practice, you know? And so for the most of it, I thought it was fake until Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. When he said that, that's when I was like, okay, this might be real because, like, but it was like, it's also like it's also like Will Smith, like, walking away, and the way that he walked up on him and the way he was walking away and the way that, like, Will Smith was laughing at the joke before. Even I can understand not thinking anything, like, if I'm Chris Rock, because it's like you were laughing at the joke and you're walking up and you're strutting. He wasn't like, oh, I'm giving you my mad face, here I come. It was more like you had a neutral face on. I think there was a point when you were like smiling, and you're walking up to this man. I might not think that you're coming up here to give me a slap. I might think, you're gonna do something funny, like, keep my wife's name out your mouth, like something funny, you know what I mean? But so I get, like, Chris Rock not being, like, on the guard of it, because it's like the way that Will Smith was walking also made me think it was staged, because it was like a weird way to walk up if you was gonna push him, if you were gonna slap him, like, that's weird, so I thought it was fake until, he said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. That's when I was like, okay, girl, this might not be fake. He might have actually felt some type of way. So that was my initial reaction, and I was actually, like, on the side of Chris Rock. I was like, well, I wasn't, like, on his side. It was more like, I was like, why would you do that? Like, you're not this type of person. You're on Disney. Like, why would you walk up and put your hands on another man? Like, that's weird. Like, the joke wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, I've heard other people say worse things about your wife. Like, we have all heard other people call your wife out her name. Like, we have heard worse things people say about your wife. This did not constitute for you to slap him. Honestly, that was also my take on it when I first saw it, because I was like, why would you do that? Like, that made no sense. Like, it was so weird and out of nowhere, and I was so confused. I was also like, why would you do that? Like, this is not even the place to do it. Like, this is not the place to do it. Not because I cared, and one thing I didn't like was a lot of people were like, oh, there's a lot of black people were like, oh, there's white people here. Why would you do that? I'm like, no, 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 no. Who cares about the white people? It's more like, this is an award show. You know what I mean? People, like, there's people who's winning awards that, like, you're just out, like, overshadowing those other people, especially if there's black people. This is the Oscars we're talking about. If there's black people who are winning awards today, don't like, overshadow them, because now this is all everybody's talking about, and this is still what everybody thinks about when they think about this year's Oscars. They're not going to think about some of the other people who won awards. No, 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 no. It's all just about this slap. So I feel like those were my initial reactions. I was kind of like irritated with Will Smith for what he did because it was like wrong time. I get being mad because people keep talking about your wife, but this was not the place. You could have handled this like backstage. You could have handled this online. You could have said some words. You could have tweeted some stuff out. You know what I mean? You could have waited until, like Chris was leaving the venue. Like there's a lot of things that he could have done and not done it on stage at even at the Oscars. Like it just makes no sense. And also, just like everybody else, I also felt like you're not doing this to the man who slept with your wife. You're not doing this to the people who were really saying some terrible stuff. You're not doing this to the people who actually deserved. Well, I don't think anybody deserves to have somebody put their hands on them, but like there's some people who like said real vile things about your wife. There's the person who actually, slept with your wife. Like there's some people who kind of deserve this fire a lot more than your wife did. Not your wife, more than Chris Rock did. That was also my initial, and that also made me peeve because I'm like, you did not do none of this with August Alsina. Nobody wants you to put your hands on somebody, but you did not have none of this steam. You were not this mad. You didn't tell him to stop, to not talk about your wife and all that stuff. Like, you didn't have all of this for August. So why are you doing this to Chris? And I felt like also my last feelings about it right after seeing the slap was this was strategic. You chose Chris Rock because he was an easy target. As in, you couldn't do this to you knew you couldn't do this to a white person because it wasn't going to end well for you. You knew you couldn't do it to, I think it's Laverne Cox, the girl from Orange is the New Black. You couldn't do it to that person because that's a transgender person. So that wouldn't end well for you. You knew you couldn't do this to a black woman. You knew like your options were very limited. You knew you couldn't do this to a lot of people. And you knew that you could do this to Chris Rock for two reasons. One, because that's a whole nother black man. So you knew he wasn't going to like press charges on you. It wasn't going to look as bad if you did this to a black man. And two, you knew that Chris Rock was not going to put his hands on you. You know what I mean? Like, you knew it. You wasn't going to do this to Tony Rock. You wasn't going to do this to Dave Chappelle. You wasn't going to do this to other people who you knew might put their hands back on you. You chose who you chose because politically it looked better to do it to another black man. And also you chose a person that you knew wasn't going to get physical with you. And that was and that I hated too. Cause I'm like, see, you took the easy way out of it. And so me personally, those were my initial reactions. I feel like my feelings about this now hasn't changed too much. I still feel like it was strategic and I still feel like it was wrong timing, but I feel like I less am irritated about what he did. Like I'm less like mad about it only because it's kind of like he was standing up for his wife. And also, it's kind of like people, like after hearing the type of things that people have been saying about Jada, first of all, before I even continue, can we talk about how misogynist people are? That this situation happened and people are putting this all on Jada. And that's what makes me so mad. Like, I was literally like hearing what Tony Rock had to say about the situation and even Judge Joe Brown. And I'm disgusted with what all of these people are saying because it is not her fault. If she is displeased about what this person is saying about her and her husband looks over at her and sees that she's not happy about it and makes his own decision about what he's going to do about decides to do something because of that, how is that her fault? How is that her fault? She didn't tell him to do it. Her face said it. I mean, hello, it's his, there's something called free will, and he chose to do something about it. She did not. She might have been happy afterwards. It's like, that's why you get a man. You know what I mean? That's why you get a husband. She might have been happy about it. But in that moment, she's not the one that told him, hey, go up there and slap him. He made that decision himself. So why does this fall on her? Why does it give the right to people? Why does it give people the right because of this situation and what happened with August Alsina? Because of that, give people the right to call her out her name and degrade her in these streets. And I feel like that's that really does show you just how male oriented our world is and how misogynist our world is. That so many people, does not matter if it's a man, a woman, white, black, whatever. So many people's first so many people's feelings about it is that it's Jada's fault. I'm sorry. Is this your marriage? Because last time I checked, it's not your marriage. If he forgave her first of all, I'm pretty sure we all believe that they have an open relationship. Like, I feel like we all pretty much know that they have an open relationship. It's not confirmed, but we can guess. It's giving y'all probably have an open relationship. So this probably is not all on her. He is probably done. There has been so many rumors that have come out about the types of people that he might have himself had an affair with, you know what I mean? Or been with while married to Jada. So just because hers was confirmed does not mean that, oh, this is only she did this. Okay, you don't know what he did. He didn't tell y'all his business, but girl, y'all don't know what he did. So I just feel like it's so crazy that this falls on her. Like, what? Every time, and it pisses me off because it's every time that you hear somebody giving their opinions about this, it always, the narrative is always oh, even with the Tony Rock thing. Oh, you gonna put your hands on my brother because of your B word? Really? Really? You took that. Really? You gonna blame her? You gonna, you know what I mean? It really shows you. Because I'm and that whole, you talking about how you felt about Will Smith putting his hands on your brother, the central thing wasn't even about Will Smith. You were not calling Will Smith out his name. You was not even saying, you put it in the narrative of it's his wife's fault. Oh, you gonna do this because of your wife? No. He made his own decision about it. Why does it, I really do, that's what really makes me mad. Why does it fall on her if her husband does something? I really do hate that. That's what's pissing me off about this whole thing. And it shows you how misogynist this world is. That you gonna see this. He made his own decision. She didn't tell him to do it. He made his own decision and went up there and did that. That should not fall on his wife. And again, if he forgave his wife for what she did, why should you then why should it then be your issue? That's my thing. Y'all sitting here talking about, oh my God, I can't believe Will Smith allowed this. Oh my God, why would you do this and that? No, you're not Will Smith. So why are you getting mad? This is not your marriage. You don't get something out of telling us how Will should have handled it. You don't get anything out of disrespecting Jada. So why do you care? You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I feel like that's one of the things that, because of this, has made me mad. You see this and all of a sudden your opinion is, oh, it was Jada. Jada's at it again. No. Jada sat there, did not say nothing, but her face said, I'm uncomfortable. Because if you watch that clip, he was laughing it off ha, 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 ha. Okay, I'll let you slide. You know what I mean? It was tranquil. It was when he looked at his wife and saw that she was unhappy that he decided to do about it. And I mean, some people, you can only take so much. And it might have been a communal, it might have been a collective thing. As in, he heard what Laverne Cox had to say, heard what all of these people had to say about his wife. And at this very moment, he said, I'm done. And this is the moment when he said, I'm going to do something about it. You know what I mean? So that was my thing. And I also felt I feel like my opinion about it now is there is no, I feel like I don't put it all on Will. I'm not going to sit here and be oh, Will Smith is in the wrong. My thing is, if Chris Rock for years has been targeting Jada, then this was your last straw, boo. Like, it's like you've been targeting that girl for a while. I watched that video of what he did when he had his talk show. Today was your reckoning, boo. Today was that day was your reckoning, boo. Because you forgot that she had a wife. You forgot that she had a husband. You know what I mean? And I feel like, so it's a little bit on, you gonna keep making these jokes till somebody has a problem about it. Again, he shouldn't have put his hands on you. That was not the response for your joke, but you've been targeting this woman for a long time. And that's not right. So I feel like my opinion now is, like, who cares? Also, another thing that I've realized is, every time I realized this after the whole the baby situation with the homophobia and stuff, I realized that I don't care what celebrities say. Can I tell you that? Can I be honest? I don't care what celebrities say. And it's annoying that every time something big happens, these celebrities who ain't got nothing in their life, who ain't doing nothing, come out the woodworks and tell you how they feel about the situation. I don't care what you feel about this. This ain't something that dissolves, like, especially this isn't something that deserves a conversation. You know? Like, it happened, let's let it go. That's my opinion about the situation now. It happened, let's let it go. Let's move on. It wasn't the right timing. He shouldn't have put his hands on him. But, keep his wife's name out your mouth. As simple as he said. That's what I really feel like Will Smith should have just done. Should have sat in your seat and just screamed what you said. You should never have put your hands on him. Just, either take it on Twitter or Instagram, say some words about him on it, or stay in your seat and scream at the top of your lung, keep my name's wife out your mouth. Say that as many times as you need to say it. Or third option, once you won your Oscar, take that time and say, you know what? You know who I love most in this world? My wife. She has been there for me, and I love, like, he should have just won that Oscar and spent all that time just praising his wife and praising their marriage and telling people that they should stay out of his marriage. Honestly, that's what he should have done. I think that would have been the best. Take that time when you won the Oscar and say, listen, I have sat here and allowed like a lot of y'all to degrade my wife and our marriage for so long, and I'm tired of it. Keep my wife's name out y'all's mouth. I'm happy with my wife. I love her. I have benefited from this marriage just as much as she has. Stop trying to make this, y'all don't like Jada, so y'all are making this an issue. That's the real tea, honestly. Like, I really think that's the real tea. Y'all don't like Jada, so y'all are making this a bigger issue than it is. Y'all are, like, using this as an opportunity to badmouth her. Y'all didn't like her for a while. Y'all was just waiting for a moment. And this was the moment that you said, oh, there we go. Let's degrade her now. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like it, But I feel like that's what he should have done. Taking that moment when he won his Oscar to really tell people to stay out of his marriage. I feel like those are the things he should have done instead of this. But I feel like, again, we say protect Black women. It should mean, and I feel like that's a loose term word in my opinion, because I feel like it's always select Black women that always get protected. Don't say protect Black women unless you mean all Black women. I'm going to make a video about the whole T.I. and that one Black woman situation. I do want to talk about that. But again, no comedian, like all of these comedians wants to come out because of this Will Smith situation and give their take on it. But nobody said nothing about that Black woman when T.I. wanted to heckle her and call her out her mouth. Call her out her name. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if y'all gonna say protect Black women, let it mean for all Black women. Not just the ones y'all like, not the ones that are aesthetically pleasing, none of that. Okay? But yeah, and also, can I talk about the Jim Carrey thing? I thought it was like really a racial difference, because when I first saw the slap, my first take was like, oh well, if it was me, I would have done some petty things. I might have slapped him back. Like, that was my initial thing, you know. I would have like made below the belt jokes about him and stuff like that. Like, that was my initial what I would have done if I was Chris Rock. And then to hear Jim Carrey, a whole white man who was able to become successful because of a black man giving him a chance, because of black people. If it wasn't for In Living Color, he wouldn't have been able to be the Jim Carrey that we know today. Because it was, I think his name's Kim Wayans. It was Kim Wayans. I think that's his name. Hey guys, it's Editing Good Sis here, and I just want to pop in this video to tell you guys I was 100% wrong. Kim Wayans is the sister, and the person that I was actually talking about was Keenan Ivory Wayans. It was Keenan who gave Jim Carrey the opportunity, because Keenan was the one who made In Living Color, not Kim. I thought I was wrong. Like, when I said it, I was like, I feel like Kim would be the sister, you know, but I just didn't have the name in my head. But I do now know. I was wrong. It was Keenan Ivory Wayans. I don't know. I like saying his middle name, but it was Keenan Wayans who gave him the opportunity, and Keenan was the one who made In Living Color. Knowing that a whole black man was the reason why you are what you are today, it is crazy to hear you say that you would have pressed charges, that you would have sued him. And it just shows you not everybody's an ally. And I felt that was like very white of him to say that. And I was like, at that moment, it really clicked to me. And I said, that's why Will Smith chose to slap Chris Rock and not slap a white person. That's a white man, because of that. Because for Chris Rock, he's probably gonna profit from this. He's probably gonna like make some type of deal where he's gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk about this till y'all pay me. He's gonna go into hiding. You know what I mean? Like, he is going to get over this. You know, he's not pressing charges. That's not what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? He's just gonna get over this. He's gonna see how much he can milk from this, which would be smart of him. Milk this for all you got. I mean, this made you relevant. I mean, people really weren't buying the tickets to your stand-up show until this happened. So you're kind of benefiting from this. You know what I mean? Like, for Chris Rock, that's what he gonna do. Versus like somebody like Jim Carrey who gonna sue you for a slap. You gonna sue him for a slap? That's really white of you. And it shows that your time on In Living Color taught you nothing about Black history. Why would you sue? And this goes to anybody else whose initial feeling was that Chris Rock should have sued Will Smith. Why? It was a slap. Who cares? Like, let's move on. Like, that's really like, oh my God, when I heard Jim Carrey say that, ooh, I got so mad. Because I'm like, it doesn't deserve that. Honestly, like, what? You know, like, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, like, I just feel like my feelings about it now is like, let's get over it. Y'all are doing too much. Like, literally, y'all are doing too much. And I just feel like when it comes to this, or like what happened with the DaBaby, I feel like when situations like this come and you got these celebrities who want to give their 2 cents when nobody cares, I just feel like y'all must not have nothing happening. Because who cares? Like, I really am at this point where I just don't care what celebrities have to say about other celebrities. Like, I don't care. If you're not in on this, like, if this does not involve you, go worry about something else. Go worry about something else, you know? Because I feel like it happened, and now, you know, like, in the moment, like, that day when I saw it, I had feelings about it. You know what I mean? But now, like, it's been like a couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't care. Like, who cares? It happened, you know? I feel like if I was Chris Rock, I say get petty about it, you know? Retaliate in some petty way. But other than that, girl, make your coin and let's move on. Like, honestly, who cares? It was a slap. Let's move on. It made the Oscars relevant because ain't nobody was. I mean, I wasn't watching the Oscars. Who cared, girl? And nobody was watching it. It was probably in the background. Y'all was probably making yourself some dinner. You know, y'all was probably on your phone because that stuff was boring until that slap. So that slap really helped y'all. So I don't know why y'all feeling some type of way about it, but who cares? Like, let's move on. As y'all have probably all heard, the Oscars' decision about it was to ban Will Smith for 10 years. 10 years because of this. And I feel like this reminds me a lot of the Super Bowl incident with Janet Jackson, where I feel like this is like a whole racial issue. And I hate taking it there, but it's kind of like 10 years. Y'all, one, were the ones that let him on stage. Y'all let him on stage because y'all didn't try and stop him. Y'all didn't ask him what he was doing. Y'all let him on stage. Two, I don't believe with not one part of me that y'all asked him to leave. Because what? Y'all have security. Y'all asked him to leave. He didn't want to. And y'all said, okay, that's fine, Will. Just sit down and enjoy. No. If he didn't want to leave and y'all actually did that, y'all would have had security escort them out. So I don't believe y'all actually did that. And three, y'all gave him an Oscar afterwards. All of these three things tell me that y'all did not care about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock until the internet cared. And I'm so sick and tired of these of people doing things that the internet doesn't like, and then this person like getting their sponsors losing sponsors or having, their movie put on hold or all of those happening when in a couple of months, especially if they're white, in a couple of months or like 2 years, they're just going to get all that back. I hate this like 15 minutes of consequences when nothing's really going to happen to him. That's what pisses me off. Because it's like y'all had no problem when he did that. Because if y'all had a problem, y'all had the moment to take his Oscar away. But y'all didn't. Y'all let him on stage and everything like that. Y'all are only doing this because people have switched their mindset. Because when it first happened, everybody on the internet was on Will Smith's side, and he's protecting his wife and all that. But now that people's opinions have switched, and now they're against Will Smith and what he did. Now it's we're gonna ban him for 10 years. Now y'all are gonna get. Now you're gonna. There's gonna be replication. That now there's going to be consequences for what he did. But when you know what I mean. So I feel like this is all falseness, and I feel like it is a racial thing because my thing is y'all are banning him for 10 years. Why? Because I'm like, if this was a white person who did this, I wonder how many years, what their consequences would be. It's just a question that pops up in my mind because he did not deserve to be banned for 10 years. Like, at most 2 years. Like, ban him for at most 5. But really, y'all should have just, if y'all wanted to do something, ban him for 2 years. Show that y'all are doing something about it, but like really not doing something, because he'll be back in those 2 years. But 10 years is crazy. He might do a really good movie within those 10 years that he needs to get an Oscar for, but he won't get it because of this situation. And I also feel like Will Smith he has a really squeaky clean history. He's one of those that has not done nothing. This was a moment in this is a moment in lapse. He made one mistake. Why should he face consequences like this? And the same thing goes with the Janet Smith, like the Janet Jackson thing. Why are these people who are legends in their own right facing these harsh consequences when we know that if it was a white person, they would not be facing these same things? We hate to admit it, but it's the truth. Like 10 years? That's crazy. I don't watch any award shows because I don't believe in those. It's just my opinions about it. But if I was watching the Oscars, this would make me never want to watch it ever again. Because it's like, you don't deserve that. It was a slap. Let's move on. Like, I just don't get 10 years. That's crazy. Like, 5 at most. But y'all really should have just, what y'all should have done was say, we don't agree with Will Smith's actions, giving him 2 years, and let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Because that one chick from Full House only got, like, what, 2 months? And then that one other actress, when she lied about, um, those people that lied on their kids' college applications got like 2 months, 2 weeks. That one guy that lied during, that one white guy, something Lochte, lied during like the Olympics. Nothing really happened to him. Just like all of these white people, when they do something bad, it seems like they don't really face any consequences. But when it's a black person, all of a sudden he got to get banned for 10 years. All of a sudden she got to get blackballed, and she could never come to the Super Bowl ever again. But we see that white man years later at the Super Bowl. It's crazy. And I feel like this is I feel like this should be a lesson to all black people, that no matter how much fame you get, no matter how many white people you surround yourself with, how much money you make, what your status is in this world, in the end of the day, you are black. And that ain't never gonna go away. And these people will never forget that. Because I think it's so crazy and outrageous that he got 10 years. And that really pissed me off. Because I'm like, y'all didn't do anything in the moment. Y'all didn't have a problem when it happened. The only reason y'all doing this is because the internet is outraged. And I think 10 years is crazy. And it just shows you more reasons why I don't need to be watching award shows. That's crazy. Like, y'all pretty much did nothing when people wanted to talk about how the Oscars are so white and how not a lot of minorities win these awards. Y'all didn't really do nothing much about it. I mean, again, I didn't watch the Oscars and I don't watch Oscars, but how many minorities honestly won Oscars that night? Can we talk about that? Like, there was no real true resolve to that. But God forbid a black dude is tired of people disrespecting his wife and now he's banned for 10 years. Like, what? That's crazy. Like, I'm done talking about this because I don't even want to give this more like it's crazy, 10 years? That's crazy. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Just crazy mayhem. That's like, oh my goodness. Like, why are we still talking about this? Why is this an issue? All that should have happened was, what should have happened was, first of all, y'all should have done something when y'all first saw it happen. Like, y'all gave him an Oscar. Seemed like y'all didn't have a problem with that. My thing is, what he should have done is sat in his seat and heckled Chris Rock till Chris Rock left. Or gotten on social media and did something about it. But not just to Chris Rock, but to everybody, and tell people to stop talking about his wife. Or, okay, he slaps Chris Rock. What should have happened was there should be memes everywhere about it. Everybody should be talking about it. Couple weeks later, everybody should be talking about it. Oscars say he's banned for 2 years, and then we stop, and then we move on. We still reference it because that was a funny thing that happened, but we just call it a day. That should have happened. Not all of this. Not celebrities coming out talking about it like we actually care about y'all's opinions. Not him getting banned for 10 years. He had a squeaky clean record before this. He wasn't on this stuff. You didn't hear a lot about Will Smith. Like, he wasn't on this. Why should he get this heavy penalty just for one mistake in his career? Like, I just don't get it. Like, what? It shows you that no matter, again, as I've stated, no matter what your economic status is, no matter how many white people you surround yourself with, no matter how many times you turn your back on black people, no matter how many times you skin bleach, no matter how famous you are, no matter none of that stuff. If you are black, you shall be treated like a black person. All it takes is one mistake, and you will feel that you are a black person. I'm just saying, I hate to be that type of person. I really wish we lived in a world where skin color does not matter, where sexual orientation doesn't matter, where disability, like somebody's disability doesn't matter. Like, I wish we lived in a world where none of that stuff mattered and we treated each and every person fairly. I really wish that that's the world we live in, but that's not. And we have to be honest with ourselves. That consequence that he got was bogus. And that's crazy that he got that. It's crazy. And it's only because of public opinion that he got that. And that's all I got to say about this. All right, guys, we're at the end of this video. Oh my God, this video was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I thought it was going to be like a 10-minute video. And before I edit it down, it's like at 40 right now. That's crazy. But if you watched until the very end, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just wanted to give my take on it. Because I feel like everybody was talking about this, and I said, shoot, if y'all getting y'all coin, let me get my coin too. No, jokes. I didn't think anything of it. Like, I didn't even plan on making a video about this, but it was just like when I saw that 10-year ban and just everything that these other people were saying about Jada, that I felt like I wanted to talk about it, because I just hate how people are putting this on her. You know what I mean? Like, this is all solely her fault, that I just felt like I had to talk about it, because I was like, it's crazy. Like, these are his actions. Why does it, like, how misogynist do you people have to be that you put this on her? Like, she is not at fault just because of what her husband does. That's her husband's actions, not hers, But yeah, but I'm not going to spiel more on. This is supposed to be the ending of the video. So thank you so much for watching again. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, because I have a lot more videos coming up. Also like this video, you know what I mean? And I really do want you guys to comment down below, because I want to know your opinions on this and how you felt. Like, what was your initial reaction versus now? Has it changed, or is it still the same? You guys tell me. Did y'all's opinions change? Because mine's kind of changed, It didn't really change. It just kind of changed. But yeah, other than that, have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.